when thinking about bad leadership or weak leadership, I hesitate to activate the ego because on some level, we all are guilty of bad or weak leadership at times. Leadership is a process to grow into. It is not a destination to arrive at. Because leadership is constantly changing, our skills need to constantly be evolving and growing. So we will find these ebbs and flows of better leadership, great leadership, fantastic leadership, and oh, whoa, that was a bad leadership moment. That was a weak leadership moment. And so when I talk about great leadership and more challenging leadership, I like to put it in the lens of we all have this up and down of leadership rather than, wow, they're just a horrible leader. Yes, there are leaders that have many more skills that really desperately need to be developed. So let's talk about those people for a minute. Who are the leaders who really need to develop some serious leadership skills? Because essentially what's happened is they've gotten outdated. And that's why I love this concept of 2.0 and 4.0 leadership. Again, our world has constantly been changing and evolving. The web and the internet and the industry revolution has constantly been moving us forward. If we continue to lead in this 2.0 paradigm, we will continue to find our leadership is less and less effective. And we all do our best. A lot of people don't necessarily want to lead. They're put in leadership positions and they struggle through it. There's other people who want to lead, but as they're leading, they've had a mentor that's 2.0, or they think that's the best way to do it. So what really is 2.0 leadership? What is that all about? So you're going to recognize some of these, but bear with me to discover something new. Find the area, try them on for yourself and say, which ones of these do I have? Where am I really strong and where am I weak? But here's an example of some leaders who really struggle. So number one are leaders who are, one of my favorite words that I use, any of my clients would laugh and they know the word I'm talking about is squishy. And it sounds like an unprofessional, odd word, but squishiness is the same as ambiguity. It's ambiguous. We don't know. So a leader who does not share clear direction, clear vision, are consistently clear, where are we headed? What are we doing? That leader who maybe they're a pleaser leader, maybe they're indecisive, maybe they hate conflict, and so they really struggle under conflict. Those leaders who struggle to have clear direction tend to be ambiguous and squishy. And so when we're a squishy leader may say one thing one day, but the next day they're not really working on that or doing that. It's not that they're out of integrity. It's not that they've been dishonest or lying. It's not that they're confused in what they're doing, but they're a squishy leader because they are working on this one day because this seemed important, but then XYZ things happen and all of a sudden they're working on this. And what happens is the organization spins and it goes in a circle instead of moving forward and advancing in performance and achievement and accomplishing goals and rising to new levels. Instead of that happening, they circle and they spin. And the impact is people get confused. They don't know, what is this organization about? Why, what are we doing? What am I doing? What is my role in this organization? And it doesn't set people up for success because they start to get confused because this is confused, really because the leader has been ambiguous, unclear, and squishy in casting a clear vision and a clear message. So that's number one, is that the 4.0 leader is going to create a clear message and direction. A 2.0 leader, not all 2.0 leaders do this, but sometimes, and actually, that's not really about a 2.0 leader, but it's just back here in this 2.0 leadership, we need the direction, and some leaders who struggle to cast that vision or that direction will create that ambiguity or that squishiness. Another thing in 2.0 leadership that is probably the number one thing that is complained about is top-down leadership. And so over here in the 2.0 leader, and this is really a 2.0 leader, is a command control leader. And it used to be that years ago, you would work your way up the ladder. And as you worked your way up the ladder and you got to the top, you were like, yay, I'm at the top. And it's not that you were celebrating stepping on other people, but it's that you have earned your stripes. You have earned your stars. You worked hard to get to that level. You learn things, you learn skills, you advance through different levels in order to often, come from the bottom to the top of an organization where you get to call the shots. You get to sit in the helicopter and see where we're headed and what's needed. And it's your job to communicate that with the team. And you have to say, team, this is where we're going. Now, different from the first thing I was talking about, you can cast a vision without telling the team how to do it. A 2.0 leader will tell the team how to do it. Or when the team begins to employ their custom and unique ways of doing things, as long as they're headed in that direction, we're good to go. If they're headed in a different direction, yes, it's the leader's job to inspire and help them to see what is the direction we're going, so we're all rowing in that same direction. But a 2.0 leader can accidentally micromanage, or they can accidentally dictate and tell, how do you do your job? And what that does is it erodes and waters. It washes out a team's inspiration. It washes out their motivation to think, to come up with solutions, to identify problems, because the leader has done all the thinking for them. And so it's a little bit complex in that what I'm saying is a 2.0 leader is too telling. They're too demanding, too directing of how somebody does their job. To be clear, the first part we were saying is a 4.0 leader will inspire vision, direction, and purpose. And then you collaborate and co-design with your team on how are we going to do that? What are your ideas to get there? What do you think this looks like? How do you imagine this happening? That's 4.0 leadership, is curious, asking questions, engaging the team, respecting their opinion, and respecting what they have to say. And that's how you're a 4.0 leader. 2.0 leaders will walk in, they'll say, this is the direction, I need you to do this, this, and this, and I'll check back with you on Friday. And that's it. And so that 2.0 leader sometimes turns into that command control, almost the dictator leader, which we all don't like. And nobody likes to be led that way themselves, but sometimes we accidentally do it because we're trying to get things done. Because there's so much stuff and so much pressure, we turn into a command control because it takes so much time to co-design with people and to coach people. It takes a lot of time. So we accidentally become a command control leader in our great intention to get things done. So that's the two things that I'm going to say in bad leadership. Number one, squishy leadership, not providing a clear direction. And number two is that command control leadership, where we tell people how to do their job and we don't really empower, respect their voice, and create space for it. Are two areas that you might consider, do I need to upgrade my skill set in this area? And if you do, it will dramatically improve the way you work with your team and the performance and results that you get.